So hopefully, for Tony's sake, he's actually tested against similar matchups, because this is a deck that, I mean, this is the Rug deck put 2 copies in the top 8. Seems to be gaining a lot of popularity recently.
I'd like to apologize quickly for my congestion.
Oh, no need. No. So Delver of Secrets is big in Legacy these days. Multiple decks in the top 8 using it, and in this matchup, it's one of the most important cards. Simply putting it down on turn 1 actually gives him, I mean, that's his best clock.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I mean, Jonathan, in the last match we watched him play against the Wizard deck earlier today, he was able to just play a turn 1 Delver and just natural the card on the top of his deck in both games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to happen too often. But
no, a fair bit. I mean, he's actually, because he's only got, like, what, 18 land and 12 creatures.
So it's 50%, yeah.
Yeah, it's 50-50 just to raw dog it. And that's part of the
pretty good.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why. And plus, you can always
waddle in the cobble.
Plus, you can just brainstorm on turn 1 on your own upkeep. It works so much better than Ponder. It's just a free hit, so it's, I mean, and you're gonna have brainstorm in your opening hand almost half the time anyway. So like, no, you are.
Yeah, no.
So
I
if
agree.
if you play Delver, your odds of flipping by turn 2 probably north of 75%. 70%?
I think it's
about 70%.
Yeah, about 70. Still, that's pretty good.
It's not bad for a flying Wild Mikado in blue. So, and you know what? This does actually give more evidence. Like I joked a year ago, or not even a year ago, in Denver, whenever at the last commentary, I joked about a cycle of Wild Mikados to come, the mega cycle of Wild Mikados. Wild Mikado was first. Looks like Delver of Secrets is the second Wild Mikado in the Wild Mikado cycle. Gonna be interested to see what the next Nikado and the Nikado cycle, Wild Nikado cycle is.
The first strike Nikado?
I mean, how does it even work?
It's a, I don't know, it's a 1/1 first strike for 1 white that gets +1/+0 if you control an island, and +1/+0 if you control a forest.
I like it.
Right? That's pretty reasonable.
I mean, it's both unreasonable and out of the color pie, but it would be a brutal in Legacy. Just beating people down. I guess it makes about it, I mean, why not? I guess it could fit. No, dude.
It's like a first strike Nikado that you can hit with Dark Blast and stuff like that forever.
Yeah, but I think part of the charm with Wild Mikado is that it's like the colors that deserve to get a little bit of a break, because they knew they were kind of pushing it a little bit. I don't really understand. I mean, Delver of Secrets, I guess it doesn't matter. They're like, cool, if cards are good in Legacy, great. It's not tested. I mean, it's not designed, like, they're not concerned of it being too good in Legacy. A format with Stoneforge, Mystic Dark Confidant, Tarmogoyf, and so on. And whatever the red, the red Snapcaster to come is.
The 2-mana tap destroy a land card.
That's not what it's going to be. No, it's got to be something value oriented. Although I don't know. Maybe all the people.
Snapcaster could have been a red card. That probably would have made more sense.
Snapcaster Mage makes more sense as a red card. Yeah, because, I mean, I do think that it's the 2 parts of the color pie that blue really needs a little bit more of are regrowth.
All right, so Jonathan goes and gets a tropical island here. He has Tony choked on land a bit, but Tony has successfully put a Jin Gitaxias into his graveyard.
Yep, and that's definitely it's not the worst for Jonathan. Because, I mean, he does have like a couple dismembers.
Yeah, I mean, he could dismember that one.
And it's interesting, Stifle has some added application in this matchup just because of, you can stifle the Animate Dead.
Oh, you can stifle the Animate Dead.
Yeah. So, Jonathan, casting Brainstorm, looking to try to get a little bit, he's definitely looking to put down some kind of a clock here. But he's got to be so careful game 1.
Oh, yeah.
A single spell could finish him off. He ponders. Still just looking for relevant cards. Good chance he shuffles. Good chance. He's gonna read. Is he reading Jin Gitaxias?
Yes, he is.
So now.
Is that a dismember on top of his deck?
Oh, very, very possible.
He shuffled it away?
Shuffles away because maybe it wasn't dismember.
Yeah, or maybe it was in his hand. already. The world may never know.
So, let's see what Jonathan gets.
All right. Let's see. It's on the top. And it's a volcanic island, which you will play and then pass the turn. All right, Tony, what do you got for us?
Discards again.
All right.
Is it just literally no more land? Just the one? I mean, that's
Tony's got to be.
That's what these wasteland stifle decks want. That's one of their primary game plans. It's also important to note that Temporal Spring, at its best in this matchup.
Oh, most certainly.
So, Jonathan, is he finally going to commit a clock? Is this Tarmogoyf?
I think so.
It is Tarmogoyf.
That's pretty big.
That is a fast clock. Tony's got, what, 4 turns?
Yeah, there's like sorcery, instant, land, creature.
Yeah. So 5 turns initially, but it's very possible that we could see a little bit more coming. Plus, I mean, Jonathan does have those lightning bolts in his deck. Still game 1.
Oh yeah, he could just close the game out pretty fast with those bolts.
We're getting in there. We're going to see a Delver Secrets. No, Ponder. Just continuing looking for more relevant cards. Looking for Stifle.
Looking for
Force of Will.
Daze, probably.
Daze,
even.
sure, absolutely. Possibly even Spell Snares for sure.
Oh yeah. Just getting up to that point where he can sit there and even if Tony just throws something at him every single turn, the Tarmogoyfs will win.
It's funny, we've joked sometimes. I mean, Tarmogoyf can actually beat a Jin-Gitaxias. Like you can just
At times, yeah.
sometimes because sometimes if Tarmogoyf ends up bigger, he just ends up ahead of the race.
Yeah, or sometimes somebody's like at 4 and you Tarmogoyf, you can like force like them to trade but then it's already done some business. They have 7 cards.
Yeah, that's the tough part is the 7 cards. So Delver Secrets comes down, a Wasteland, 2 Volcanics, a Tropical, and a Tarmogoyf for Jonathan.
Why Wasteland? I mean, why Brainstorm on the end step? Isn't there like so much more value than just waiting until your draw step, until you draw your card?
It depends on what he has in his hand.
Yeah.
No, because it's, I mean, if he's got more Brainstorms and stuff in his hand, he just needs to find land.
Yeah, I guess if he has another Brainstorm, then
Yeah.
it's certainly worthwhile to burn one.
Yeah, because he needs to find a shuffle. Like, he needs to find a fetch land. Because he needs black. I mean, he needs to get... He's definitely falling further and further behind.
Well, I do believe that his opponent... No, that's perfect.
Basic Swamp. That is exactly what he wanted to see. Goes to reanimate Jin-Gitaxias. Now, Jin-Gitaxias is definitely... Is it? Or is he getting one of the other ones? Is he getting Elish Norn? He might just be getting Elish Norn just because it lives through Dismember and it kills the Delver right off top.
Yeah, and it
can hold off the Goyf.
hold off the Goyf.
I mean, Jin-Gitaxias is definitely the more ambitious, but if Tony has another spell later... Besides, it would be so obnoxious to lose to double bolt or to lose to Dismember. And from the looks of it, he's eyeing Elish Norn. Looks like it's going to be Elish Norn. So, it's unclear how this next fight's going to go down, as both players have been stocking their hand.
Yeah, so...
Jonathan has the mana advantage, but it looks like Tony is pressing the issue with a reanimate on Elish Norn.
Right, so...
And it sticks. This isn't the fight that Jonathan's ready to fight. It's interesting, if he has Spell Snares, obviously can't stop reanimate. He stops the other ones, but not reanimate. So then we have Elish Norn, an island, and a swamp. And these basics are so crucial against Job's mana denial. But island, swamp, and Elish Norn with a fairly reasonable sized grip from Tony, playing Reanimator, versus Tropical Island, 2 Volcanic Islands, a Wasteland, and a Tarmogoyf. He has the Dismember.
Okay.
Which means Bolt to finish, yeah. And it's a good thing he didn't go get Jin-Gitaxias. You know? He would have lost more life, he went to kill the Delver, would have just hemorrhaged value. And now we see Force of Will on the Lightning Bolt. Brainstorm. Not clear that this is actually a battle that Jonathan's going to be able to win.
Oh, well, it looks like he just found another bolt, so that's good enough.
Alright, yeah. So he can afford to drop that bolt, get another bolt. And he's got Tony in a real short clock. I mean, this is a 2-turn clock now. I mean, reanimate.
Yeah,
definitely
reanimate
It
took a
is
chunk.
not without a price. It's interesting. It makes me wonder almost. Like I wonder about the different permutations of like attacking with Tarmogoyf first or something. But that's probably too risky.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough.
All right, so we're looking at, is this 4?
Yes.
Should just be 4, knocks Tony to 3. No, because what I mean is you don't show him the other bolt. You just attack with Tarmogoyf when he has a small Jing Elishnorn that's trumping anyway. It's a 0-2.
And after
Just make
after
him
he's
make him
forced
try
the
to
first
call.
bolt,
If he doesn't, because if he doesn't call, like if he just takes the hit, you just bolt him and kill him.
is it big enough? Because the Elishnorn makes a -2/-2.
Oh, yeah, you're right. All right. So Jonathan wins game 1.
Yeah. Now, what do you think Tony's going to bring in here?
Well, Tony, I guess it depends on if he thinks that the show and tell package is where he wants to be. I'm not positive that Spell Pierce isn't good either. 'Cause Spell Pierce might be the right kind of interaction, but it's not like he has a bunch of bad cards or anything. So it's just tiny little upgrades.
So we have to give away 6 free months of premium right
We
now.
have to? Oh no, arm behind our back twisted.
So you guys are going to have to answer a trivia question right now, and then
You
you
have
should
to.
tweet that in to hashtag SCG Premium, and you can win yourself 6 free months of premium. Now, I have a question. Modern is a format that we were just talking about for,
Correct.
for Worlds.
Did I win the premium?
It's an exciting format. It's going to be the next PTQ format, the next constructed PTQ format, and the last Pro Tour that was played was actually a Modern Pro Tour, and I'm wondering who won that Pro Tour. So if you guys can tell me who
It's a
won
spelling bee. I like
the
this.
last Pro Tour,
I like it.
that would be what I would like to know. So remember, answer the question, hashtag SCG Premium, and you can find yourself with 6 months of Star City Games Premium for free. 2 whole trimesters.
2 trimesters? Wow, absolutely.
What's that?
Bring it back.
Yeah. Yeah, the last time I was in the booth, I referred to it as a number of trimesters throughout the entirety of the weekend.
Right.
So,
All right. Now, technically, how long is a college I mean, it's the same as the trimesters are quarters, right? Quarter of a year is a trimester
yes.
of bringing a baby into this
Yes.
world.
Creating a baby.
Absolutely.
Much the way the homunculus comes into the world.
I don't think it's the same way. All right, so tweet your answer to the question about the, I guess, the Pro Tour champion, not the homunculus.
Yes.
And as a tip, the correct answer for who won the last Pro Tour, it was not Paul Rietzel. A lot of people did not win the Pro Tour. One of them was Paul Rietzel.
Ooh, that's a
That
nice
narrows
thing.
it down. I didn't win
Oh,
either, so that's two
Neither
down.
did I. So look, you're finding.
Ooh, see? We could just
Yeah.
keep giving tips. Bill Clinton did not win.
Also true.
Also true.
But if you had played, he probably would have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let's see.
So,
Next
we're
up
about
we
to
have
go
Tony.
Game
Tony on
2 here.
the play this time. I don't think being on the play is as big in this matchup as it is in some of the other matchups. I mean, it's still great, but this is definitely one matchup where they both have so much interaction that costs so little, and they both want to build up stuff anyway. That lots of times the game isn't already decided by turn 1 or 2. You know.
I mean, sometimes Tony just wins right out.
You're talking on turn 2 if he just wins the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cards that Jonathan has to interact with those, he can play by the second turn anyway. So the being on the play isn't the biggest deal. Like the Spell Snare, the Force of Will, things like that. I mean, I think I would think Tony still has the advantage. He did get a little choked on mana last turn, but I mean, that was the hard game. That was supposed to be the game where Tony was advantaged, because now Surgical Extraction and a billion Red Blasts come in, possibly even Sylvan Spell Pierce, and he gets to cut so many of the loose cards like, I guess.
think you bring in
like,
Sylvan Library too, because you're just looking for those cards that interact, right?
maybe, I don't know. Sylvan Libraries are just ambitious though, because I don't know when you have the mana to play it, and Maybe, because it can win the game for you right out, though.
Yeah.
Because it is like a green necro.
Yeah,
You
it's
could
not
probably
like
cut
you're.
some Tarmogoyfs.
Yeah, it's not like you're like worried about your life total so much against Reanimator.
No, not
They
at all.
either got it or they don't, and it's like it's basically a 2-mana Jace against them,
And you
right?
can for sure cut life from them.
Oh yeah, you can cut light from the loam immediately. Like that's almost
All
a
the lightning
perfect
bolts.
swap.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
1 silver for the 1 life.
I like 2-mana Jaces.
Absolutely. The only thing better than a 2-mana Jace is a 4-mana Jace. No, dude, how long until they make a 2 Casting Cups Planeswalker? It's going to be a number of years, right? Like, they got to kill the Pro Tour first before they get to that point, right?
Yeah, once we get to Yu-Gi-Oh, it's going to be difficult.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I really don't want a 2-mana Planeswalker. What if it's just like terrible though? What if
No,
they just make a 2-mana Planeswalker that's like,
I think that the 2-mana Planeswalker comes when they do Time Spiral 2. You know?
okay.
But I don't think they're going to make Time Spiral 2 for a long time.
I really want to return to the plane of Ravnica and play with Karus.
Absolutely. You know, my
Yes,
understanding
I-
is that, unfortunately, the next walk isn't a return to Ravnica, despite
Yeah.
some of the rumors.
I recently heard
Which
that
I
from a
take-
very intelligent man.
I take that as a thank you. I take that as a confirmation. I take that as a confirmation that Ravnica is the next block after that. Not official. Don't quote me on that. But
Hope
now
you're all
we're-
prepared to lose to Entrancer again.
Dude, you don't know how much I read just vicariously, living vicariously through the people who could actually draft that format. It seemed like it must have been so amazing to be back in the land of innocence where, like, obviously Karus exist, and for some reason most people don't realize that they're just the Michael Jacobs style netter butter. So Tony is taking a mulligan.
Oh, Tony's going down to 6 cards.
Yeah, this is
not
not where he wants
going
to
you
be.
on the play.
Jonathan keeping with the his first 7 out of his rug deck.
And Jonathan's a good player.
Absolutely. These are both strong players. So.
I've played with Jonathan many times before, so.
Is he from the East Coast?
No, I've seen him at like tournaments like Nationals and things like that in years past.
Oh, back when they used to
I've
feed into
gotten-
World Championships?
Yes.
Okay. So-
And he has he's been looking for drafts for forever. And I'm never one to turn down a team draft. I enjoy them a lot.
Do you want a team draft right now?
Sure, can we get opponents? I want to do 2v2. I'll just stay right over there.
Good call. I like your recovery there. All right, so Tony is going to see if a 6 is any better than the 7. Jonathan giving it a few quick shuffles.
Yeah, I mean, being up a game here is pretty nice. And it's also nice for your opponent to be mulliganing on the play, because you just brought in like 6 or 7 cards, right?
Okay. Definitely like Jonathan's chances here. And his last name Job, right? My understanding is that given the French pronunciations that we're trying to put on everything, is it Job?
Job?
Jonathan Job?
Jonathan Job? We just call him JJ.
So fetching up that basic swamp, turn 1 for Tony. So important to get those basic lands against the Stifle Wasteland mana denial strategy. That's one of Jonathan's primary game plans against Tony.
It's also important to, crack them on the play.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Sometimes when you have multiple fetch land hands, and you don't have a playable 1 or 2 drop, you still might want to crack that fetch land just on turn 1 in case you're playing against one of those Wasteland Stifle decks. All right, so Thoughtseize from Tony is going to resolve, and we're going to see a hand from Jonathan that's pretty good. He's got a Surgical Extraction, a Spell Pierce, a Daze, Dub Snapcaster, and a Brainstorm to go with the land.
Wow. This one's pretty tough because even if you take the surgical extraction, he's got Snapcaster in his hand.
Yeah.
So like he has to just snap take brainstorm, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, it's the right play. I mean,
I'm not sure that it's not the. Wow. Yeah. That's. And from the looks of it, Jonathan either got a Ponder, a Delver,
that Delver would be really nice here. Just having that nice
That
little
clock?
piece of meat to lean on.
Yeah.
Because if he just leans on Tony right now, he's already, Tony's standing on one leg. He knows his opponent has a Surgical Extraction in his hands. He knows he's, counting down to when his opponent gets 2 lands and can start Snapcastering.
So I'd be happy with just a ponder right here just to get the second land. Oh yeah, there you go. Because I think you just want to you want to keep moving forward. I don't think you need the clock this turn as much as you need to make sure you develop your mana so that you don't get behind. Because that's such a good grip.
Oh yeah. And as long as you don't stumble, it's gonna be hard to lose with that grip.
All right, we're gonna find out. Moment of truth. Does Tony have a way to produce a monster? I mean, I guess a way to get the surgical extraction out of Jonathan's. I mean, this is a tough way to do it anyway. Like, he's facing down 2 Snapcasters and a surgical extraction.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard no matter what.
Well, show and tell seems like a pretty sweet way to do it.
It's definitely true. I mean, Jonathan also has Spell Pierce in hand. And Daze.
So there's Entomb. What do you suppose he gets from this position?
To be honest, Iona.
Alright. Old Faithful. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, I would not mind having an Iona on the table right now. Fortunately, I don't see that as a very real possibility.
So, if he has a Forcible, he can use Forcible with Surgical Extraction because Jonathan doesn't yet have a second land to be able to Snapcaster to Surgical Extraction twice.
That's true.
I mean, Tony's not really in that bad a spot yet because Jonathan hasn't developed his mana yet. God, Legacy's so hard.
So, Jonathan's going for Ponder number 2.
Floats the mana and dazes. Wisely floating the mana first. I like the play. Because he's got to just choke. Oh, see? We're perfect. He's choking Jonathan on mana. That's the thing about Legacy.
He has a reanimate with force backup.
It's a sweet format, although you gotta admit, there's an awful lot of just people sitting around mana screwing each other in this format.
There is.
Alright, so Jonathan.
Because everybody plays 18 lands.
Really? 18 lands with 8 land destruction spells. That's the format. So, Jonathan has to just ship the turn again. Tony's got to make a move soon, though. It sucks because he knows that, you know, he doesn't have the surgical extraction beat yet. The Wasteland, not actually that great of a mana source for Jonathan, but it is something. It's enough to get the surgical extractions online, which means Tony is now up against 2 layers of defense, you know?
Yeah, now he's got to deal with the surgical extraction and the Snapcaster targeting surgical extraction.
Full study?
Now,
Resolve.
I'm surprised that doesn't get Spell Pierced.
I would be. If he has Spell Pierce, there's no way in the world I could get away from not spell. I mean, maybe, because you think he's going to reanimate with Forcible backup and you just want to hold up 2 layers? I don't know. I'd still. I don't know if I could get away from from Spell Piercing because it's. A Careful Study is just a draw 2.
He would have played Careful Study off the top anyway. He's Spell Piercing.
He is Spell Piercing. But there's nothing wrong with doing the math, being careful. Tony has to ship the turn. And Jonathan ships the turn back. Off a lot of draw go. Not even draw land go, just draw go.
Yeah, and that's another land.
That's what he wanted to see.
And it's a green one.
So at least he's advancing his board a little bit now. I got a feeling that at this point, if Tony doesn't start threatening things, I think we'll actually see okay, yeah, the Delver comes down. I was going to say, we're going to see a creature one way or the other. If Jonathan has a Delver, he'll play it. But if he didn't, we might even see the Snapcaster Brainstorm. He's got multiple Snapcasters, just to, like, he has to start clocking Tony at this point.
You can't just let him sit there and sculpt.
Right. Yeah. So, we have Show and Tell.
Ooh.
And we're going to have to see, because this is interesting. Snapcaster Mage can't get back Spell Pierce right now. Doesn't have the mana.
Looks of it, Jonathan has something.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just Brainstorm. And he's just desperate.
Digging.
That might just be Spell Pierce number 2.
No, he has Daze. He has Daze, right? We know he has Daze in hand.
Yeah, Tony knew he had Daze in hand.
Yeah.
It's really weird to... Oh, okay, Spell Pierce. So, Jonathan looks...
You know, it's a blessing in disguise, not flipping your Delver. At this point, though, I think 3 lands is plenty.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
going.
yeah, at this point, he just wants gas. He just wants to flip that Delver, and then get a lot of 1-for-1s and just, you know,
Yeah, just hit Tony for 3 over and over
Force of Wills, Spell Pierces, Snapcasters, Brainstorms, Ponders, Surgical Extractions, all the interaction.
And this is exactly what Jonathan wants to do. Jonathan, like, his normal line is to put an early threat down and then just stack his hand with answers.
Show and tell number 2. He knew the Snapcaster Mage was coming. Snapcaster's the Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
And he says,
Snapcaster
okay.
Mage, a very powerful card. There we just saw it used as a 3-mana Mystic Snake. But
God, it's
we
tough.
used as many different things.
I don't know that actually advances his game. I mean, maybe Tony's just got 4 Show and Tells in hand, but I mean, he can't beat the cards that he knows Jonathan has with this line, right?
Or maybe he just has a ton.
Like if he just has 4 Show and Tells.
Trying to fire it through.
It is really tough to just push through all the Snapcasters when Jonathan has the mana advantage.
And a Brainstorm resolves.
Oh, absolutely. I think Jonathan's just focusing on the battles that matter. You know?
Oh, yeah.
He's got to just try to
Old
keep Tony
Carlos Romeo.
So, we're looking at Volcanic Island, 2 Tropical Islands, 2 Wastelands, 2 Delvers, and a Snapcaster. With Grip that we know contains at least a Snapcaster Mage and a Surgical Extraction. Against Tony, with 2 basic swamps, 2 basic islands, love his choice of artwork. He's casting Exhume, which would hit an Iona. And the nice thing about Exhume is that it beats Surgical Extraction, because it's not targeting.
Well, he only has to get 1 guy in his yard.
Right. In general, like if you had
Yes.
Entomb in response. God, this is so weird. Because like if he had a black mana open, but I guess he just doesn't have the Entomb. Alright, so Tony now looking to force will the extraction and walk face first into Snapcaster number 2.
Which he knows his opponent has.
One of my favorite plays is always, you cast Exhume,
Mhm.
they Surgical Extract you, and you Entomb in response.
Oh, yeah. That's the way you do it.
That's how it's done. Yes. So, just gonna look through Tony's deck, figure out how he sideboarded.
And Jonathan wisely writing down all of the cards in his opponent's hand when he gets to see his opponent's hand.
Yeah, he's
We've
only
seen
got
way too many people not do this today, and then not play around cards that they knew their opponent had in their hand. So it's an important thing to do. And if you're looking to get better, you don't need to try to look like a boy genius or girl genius and remember everything.
played against Finkel at the last Pro Tour. He wrote my hand down every time he had a look. Like he'd get Taxian Pro'd me, and then even if he get Taxian Pro'd me, like the next turn, and there's just one new card he doesn't try to remember it, he just writes it down. And that's John Finkel.
And he's better than all of us.
Well, I just meant that he's got like a memory that's like pretty unreal. So, Jonathan, Snapcasters, as expected.
Well, this Snapcaster is for...
Oh wait, this is just an end step?
Brainstorm, yeah.
Oh, because Tony didn't fight.
Yeah, Tony didn't fight.
Which is good that he didn't fight. Wait, it seems wild to play the Snapcaster there. That was just a hard counter.
Yeah, I don't understand at all.
I don't know. Because I guess this way he knows his Delvers will flip and he puts him on a 2-turn clock.
You only...
But that doesn't even...
Yeah, like he's on a ridiculous clock already, and it's a hard counter.
So Tony looking to... Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well...
Well, I mean, he didn't know, right?
No.
Or he could have.
He
It could have been in his hand.
Had a read on the future.
Yeah. Okay, so...
So show and tell is going to be Tony's out, if he's got an out coming. Although he does have the Force of Will. So if Jonathan's only interaction is the one Surgical Extraction, he has that beat if he has a... The thing is, he just doesn't have a creature in his graveyard yet either. So he needs either a show and tell, or he needs a random spell. Like he needs an Exhume type card.
Yeah, or like a careful study into something.
Yeah. It's gonna take some change. Well, there's the careful study.
Careful study.
Yeah, that's
Off
definitely,
the top.
that's definitely one of the better
beginning
things.
of the end, if possible. Let's see.
So now does he have enough cards in his hand? Because he needs to keep Reanimation Spell, Force of Will, and blue card.
Yep.
Packs it in.
Yep.
No? Oh, he's looking. He just wanted to see his opponent. Okay, see his opponent's graveyard.
He's thinking.
Yeah, that look like
Ooh,
me.
Elishnorn. You would be pretty good right now if I was able to get you into play.
Yeah, I think he would settle for Elishnorn.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, Tony, actually it's 6 right now, not 16. Last turn he did just eat 10. So.
Sadly, having to discard Reanimate, as he just does not have the life.
Yeah, Reanimate, not very good when you're at 6.
I have to shuffle. Now, did he discard an Elishnorn? Do we actually know they did that?
Oh, no, I'm saying that he was probably, when he was looking at his opponent's cards, he was thinking about how good an Elishnorn in play would be. It's like one of the few things that prevents him from dying immediately.
So I don't think he's really drawing to anything right here, but I mean, I guess in theory he could play a land and a show and tell on a guy. No. All right, so Jonathan Job has defeated Tony Murata. Rug Tempo with Elver Secrets, defeating Reanimator.
Yeah, so Rug Tempo on to the finals. And Rug decks have done extremely well lately. Eric English won a huge